Extreme Collectibles here with an older piece. Well, not super old, a year or two, I guess. This is a piece that I purchased because I am a huge Aliens fan and Predator fan. Who isn't? I guess I kind of like everything. That's probably not good, shows I have no taste. But I want to do a review on this guy for a number of reasons, and man, just looking at it just gets me excited. Not like that. But she did say that. Extreme Collectibles here with Sideshow's Alien King Maquette. So first of all, Maquette, this is always debated everywhere. I saw it debated on a live show recently. What is a Maquette? Is it price point? Is it scale? In my opinion, it's scale to a point. Anytime they can't really put a scale on something, they put it as a Maquette. For example, Galactus Maquette. Well, Galactus is, 40 feet tall, so let's, make this guy 30 inches and put him as a Maquette. This one would also fall into kind of the same aspect. It's a little bit bigger than a quarter scale regular alien piece, but a regular alien would be much smaller than a king. And this is a made-up character we're going to talk about in a second anyway. For example, Thanos on Throne Maquette. It's not true quarter scale, it's a Maquette. So whoever is pounding that, do you hear that? Okay, it stopped when I said that. They must have heard it. I have children. I have 3 young children and a wife, and they make noise. So this is the Alien King. From my knowledge, which I don't read the Alien comics, I'm only a fan of the movies. Oh, they started again. Do you hear that? They're probably getting ready. We have to leave. We have 1 volleyball game and 2 basketball games at the same time, and it's in 20 minutes we have to leave, and I still don't know how we're going to do it because they're all at different buildings. And yeah, there's only 2 parents and 3 kids all have games at the same time. Anyway, moving back to this guy, Alien King is something they conceptualized from their minds, or maybe they've got it from a comic, because obviously there is no king in the movies. Maybe there will be someday, but this is the Alien King Maquette. I don't remember exactly how it came together. There were 1,500 of these made. I can't remember if I said that because the bouncing is killing me. For $999 each. The base is 1 big piece. The King Maquette is 1 big piece minus his helmet and these guys. Not his helmet, his head and these guys, and his tail is all 1 big piece. So pretty easy to put together. Actually, you know what? His whole body is permanently attached to this. I didn't even realize that. I wonder if any of these small guys come out. Well, they feel like they might. Alright, the point of this is I unboxed it so long ago, I don't remember how many pieces there are. But I purchased this because I'm getting the Alien Queen Maquette, which probably ships in a few months here, and I'm going to do a review on that too. I also have Hot Toys Wolf Predator vs. Aliens, which we're going to set up at the end of this review right next to it, and you can see how they look together because I think it looks phenomenal. It scales really well with that being 1/6. So maybe this is supposed to be closer to 1/6, who knows. But anyway, conceptually, because this is a piece that was kind of created out of someone's mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is the Alien King coming kind of out of a hive, and you have all, not babies necessarily, but the minions coming out from everywhere, from holes, from whatever. They're below him, they're dynamically moving, maybe not dynamically, but they're moving, ready to go to war, ready to fight whoever. And I think it's a really cool concept, and the Queen is going to be very similar. I think they're going to look great side by side. My one complaint, and it's more about the Queen, is I think that's more of a spaceship type base or industrial type base, as opposed to this one that has holes and dirt, and they are bouncing the ball again. Oh my God. I am a very, very patient man, but some things like that just drive me nuts. You probably can't even hear it. Maybe it's not real. Maybe it's in my head. So conceptually, very, very cool. The king alien is going all of his children, which assumably are adult children, because a baby alien is a xenomorph, or more, I guess, what comes out. I wonder how that works, what stage of metamorphosis that is. I studied metamorphosis once, you know, complete, incomplete, gradual. This is probably the worst review I've ever done because I'm just talking about everything but the statue. So let's dive right back into the statue and jump into paint and sculpt. Starting at the base, first of all, the hive part of it, I really love it. So first, on the sides of it, there's kind of this greasy, secreted-like looking texture that is both a complement of the sculpt and the paint job. There's holes throughout to give it some of that depth. Not as much texture on the sides as there is on the bottom. On the bottom of it, again, you have all those holes and some of the aliens coming out of them, which we're going to talk about in a second. But there's this grandy, sandy dirt texture that looks fantastic. It looks like real dirt, it looks like real sand, and not only that, but the paint job just pops. And they didn't just use one single color, but there are so many different colors in here that I can see, and I think it's just a knock out of the park. And to be honest with you, the rest of the statue is very good, but this is the best part of the statue. Then looking at some of the different minions, great job on the sculpt. Not very true to the aliens. It's hard because they're so smaller. It's a 6 scale, so I think there's some opportunity missed on those. And the paint job gives them that glossy green color, but there's no blues in them. Traditionally, there's a little bit more blue. There is some blue on the king we're going to look at in a second. But I love how they're crawling all over each other, how they're touching each other, which is more of a conceptual thing, but I think they look okay. I mean, realistically, the smaller you get, the harder it is to make them look fantastic. And then starting at the king, and we're going to kind of jump all over. First of all, I think they did a good job with the paint overall. It's not great, but it's good. And again, it has that shiny look, almost like clear resin is all over it. It's not like resin's running or water's running off of it. It's just kind of the natural shininess of the king. And the sculpt on him, very, very good. Again, it's a creature they created, so they could pretty much do whatever they want, whether it's the bony parts of his feet moving all the way up through his legs, or the spikes running down the middle of his back that kind of continue throughout his immensely long tail with a pincer on the back. And he has these claw-like 5-digit hands. They almost look like 3 digits because the 2 of them are very small. But I like how they sculpted those and the design. And then he has the traditional, I don't even know what these are called, but they come out of all the aliens' backs, whether they're air holes or tubing. And then kind of these tentacles that run from the tubes all the way, in the air. And I don't know if those are supposed to be static in concept, or if they would flow as he walked, or if he could control them like he would his tail. And then moving on to the king's crown, very cool crown. You can tell it's the king. It's a cool concept, cool design. And in here too, one of the things about the paint job, they added some of those browns and almost bluish hinges, which I really hints, which I really like. But the crown is very cool. The different patterns on it, it looks like a crown. And then moving on to his face, I think they did an okay job. I think they should have done an open mouth. But I like how you can see his inner mouth a little bit, the little thing that pops out. Is there a name for that? I don't know. Maybe I'm not that big of an Aliens fan if I don't know that. But I think they had some opportunity on the mouth there. It looks good, but not great. So that's kind of a quick offset review, and for the record, I think this is the worst review I've ever done. Not the worst piece I've ever done. That's Wolf Slayer. But the worst review, because I'm just out of it, because the bouncing, and I don't know if you heard it, so maybe it is in my head, it really threw me off. But with that, I really appreciate you guys watching. Please tune in for the, ooh, you know what? I'm so off, I forgot to put the Hot Toys right next to it, so hang on, let me make that happen. So see, here we have them set up together. Like I said, I think they scale really well together. The aliens here are a tiny bit bigger than over here. And I plan to put the alien queen on the other side, almost like they're coming for Wolf Predator here. But yeah, so I think this is a cool setup. But again, I really appreciate you watching. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to buy a piece of paper, and YouTube might give me enough money to do that. So I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate you watching. Take care.